TV guest expert, international speaker, and author is on the program today. Very happy to have Mr. Danny Stone. Danny, good day. Welcome.
Good day, good day, good day. Thank you, Dr. Richey, for having me on your show. I really appreciate it, my brother.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the support, the dedication to community, and thank you for the personal support for Platforms of Truth. Let's talk about your book, New Me, 10 Men, 10 Stories, and the new is K-N-E-W. There's a twist with the K. Explain this book to us and what is the genesis for its creation.
Yeah, this book, it kind of came to light because a good friend of mine, his name is Jeff Martin, he's done a lot of work in the community, and he thought that it would be great to bring 10 black men together who are doing amazing work in the community to tell stories about challenges that we've had to overcome to get where we are. So we have a doctor, we have a police officer, we have business leaders, we have community leaders, we have educators, and we all came together to write this book. And New Me is really about knowing who you really are and also becoming a newer, heightened version of yourself. And so that's kind of how the book came together. And it took us about 2 years to write this book.
Wow. You got 10 co-authors, 10 Men, 10 Stories. And I want you to highlight some of the iconic stories in this book and why they're so important to the culture.
Well, you know, we have one story by Jeff Martin, who is a police officer here. And as soon as he became a police officer, within a year or two of him becoming a police officer, one of his cousins gets killed. Mm-hmm. And he's facing this dilemma of, I'm a police officer here to serve and protect, or do I go out and try to avenge my cousin's death? And wow. So, you know, that was a big dilemma, because at the end of the day, he is a black man, and, you know, he's looking for justice for his cousin. So, you know, that's one of the stories in the book that just is eye-opening for a lot of people, because we don't look at it from that side, right? We look at police in a different light, but we don't understand that a lot of them come from the same communities that we come from.
That's right.
And they face the same challenges. So that's an interesting story in the book. My story, you know, I grew up in the inner city, surrounded by drugs and crime. I was headed down the wrong path, you know, similar to you, Dr. Richey, and I had to make a decision at 18 that was going to change my life forever. You know, did I continue down the path that I was going, getting arrested and locked up like some of my friends, or some of them who are no longer here, or do I change my life? And it was really kind of mentors that helped to guide me out of that life and into a path of going into university and playing sports and so on. So those are just a couple of the stories in the book.
I want to talk about one of the chapters titled Searching for Identity and Acceptance. And because I have this belief that identity is so fundamental to the function and the dysfunction of humanity that is contextualized in Scripture as the first human dilemma. And let me explain that. Mm-hmm. When God says, Adam, where art thou? Or Adam, where are you? God does not ask questions for information. God is posing the question because it allows Adam to know that if the all-knowing is asking that question, that means I must be lost. Not lost in the location or locality sense, but lost in the spiritual sense, lost in the cultural sense, lost in the where do I belong sense. And I think we have struggled to understand, embrace our true identity. And I think a lot of what we encountered through psychological dynamics and some dysfunctions in relationship is connected to an identity crisis of sorts. Talk to us about searching for identity and acceptance in chapter 2.
Yeah, I think in that chapter, you know, Jermaine, one of the authors, he's talking about living in Canada, but being of Jamaican descent and really trying to figure out, you know, where he fits in. And I think we can all relate to that, right? you grow up in a certain environment. And for some of us, when we try to step out of that environment, or you're in that environment, you feel like you don't belong, right? You feel like there should be more. And I think a lot of us are trying to figure out who we are and our place in the world. And we can't figure that out in the confines of living the same way we live every single day. You got to get uncomfortable to kind of find out who you are and what your purpose is. And a lot of us try to do that inside of a comfort zone, and it just doesn't happen. You have to get uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You have to step outside of what you know. And it's that fear of the unknown that kind of holds us in place. So a lot of us are searching for more, but we're doing it in the confines of living our life every day, not connecting to somebody different, not having different conversations, not stretching ourselves, not setting the bar higher for what it is that we want in our lives. And that's how you kind of find out who you're meant to be.
Man, this book is so compelling. When I read it, I get chills because it resonates to truth that really only a black male can appreciate at this level level of it. Everybody can get something amazing from the book, amazing insight. But when you have what's called resonant truth, it hits you in a way that's quite different. And so this book is well put together. I can tell why it took a couple of years to get it done. You did not just put something together. This was thoughtful. This is well written, it's choreographed in a way that's layered, and it allows you to peel back as you read. You stay interested because you're looking for the next dynamic, the next issue to overcome, because we are a reflection of each other. Talk to the listeners about how would they get this book. You got some other books. How can they connect?
Yeah, I have this book, New Me, which is available on Amazon. We almost broke the top 10 in one of the categories there. So
love it.
That book is out there. KNEWME, New Me, 10 Men, 10 Stories of Perseverance. And then my book is called You Have the Keys, Now Drive. And that's on Amazon as well.
Very good stuff, dear brother. What got you into this space of expression through written word?
Well, I was never an author. I was never a good writer. And, I was thinking, I had been working in the community for a long time. I started my career as a job search facilitator, working with young people, teaching life skills and helping them find jobs. And then I got into career coaching adults. And it was just all of these stories that people were telling themselves about themselves. And they were very limiting. And I realized that we have to tell better stories about ourselves. And so I just kind of took everything that I had learned over the years, and I thought, let me just put it together in a book. And if it can help one person, Dr. Richey, it was just one person. I said, if 99% of people get nothing from this book, if one person can get something, then I've done my job. And it just led me to writing You Have the Keys, Now Drive back in 2014. I put it out there in the world, terrified, and people just started resonating. Man, what you said about setting a vision, what you said about being stuck, other people's opinions. And then I knew that, maybe it was helping a few people.
Lovely. Lovely. That's how it works, dear brother. You put the seed into the universe. Universe provides the cultivation for that seed. And that's what you were able to do. Once again, how can people get the book?
You can go to Amazon. You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to my website, IamDannyStone.com.
There it is. All right, dear brother. We're going to have you back on the show, man. I appreciate all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too.